Alright, we're back, and today we have the CLYW boy. This yo-yo was sent to me by Lukas Wildau. He's a great guy, and this whole video wouldn't have been made possible if it weren't for him. So huge shout out to him. If you want to see some of his work, you can go check him out on his Instagram right here. So with that being said, the boy is a monometal yo-yo made by Caribou Yo-Yo Works. It's Ayumu Harada's signature yo-yo. If you guys don't know who he is, I don't either. But here's a clip of his routine at Japan Yo-Yo League 2020. Link in the description if you want to see the whole video. So the yo-yo itself is fairly decent and somewhat has a round profile when you first look at it. But once you take a closer look, you can actually see that this yo-yo has a good amount of competition level design features. More on that in a later segment of the video. But now for the specs. I'm gonna highlight anything unique about this throw, so you'll see what I mean. So we're gonna be comparing this throw to two yo-yos, the Magic Yo-Yo Metal Skyva and the Yo-Yo Factory Edge. When it comes to the Skyva, it's mostly about the shape profile of the two yo-yos. They both have this step right at the start of the shape and continue with an angular design and a smooth round-ish rim that's very comfortable. And secondly, for the Edge, it just reminds me of its general vibe and aesthetic. They're both competition oriented, but they're more fun than they are competitive. They both have this round-like feel, and playing with both of these throws feels so relaxing and just makes you have such a fun time. Now with all that out of the way, how does this return top play? So I've had this throw for quite a while now, and no matter when I throw it, it's always a pleasure to throw this thing around. While it may not be the most noticeable and unique throw in your collection, it still stacks up very well when you throw it from time to time. Honestly, this throw has a very different feel in contrast to every other yo-yo in my collection. My first impressions on this were actually somewhat far from how it actually plays. When I first saw this design on Yo-Yo Expert, I thought, that looks a bit different but also looks like a more fun and non-competitive throw. But from the first throw up until now, it's quite unique to all my other throws. It's like it was meant for competition, but it executes it in a very weird but pleasant way. A huge contrast to how I want my throws to play, but pleasantly surprises me in a way I never thought I'd enjoy. With that being said, what about its characteristics? For binds, this thing is awesome. What I really like about the boy is how comfortable it feels all the time, and that includes binds. So with that, the boy gets a solid 9 out of 10 for binds. For regens, this thing gets an 8 out of 10. Nothing else much to say, but since the profile of this yo-yo is much more generally in the compact side, plus with the addition of that step in the middle, it makes the regens on this yo-yo not that bad. Now this thing isn't the best at holding it. While the design and the overall round-like shape of the yo-yo helps with this, its true beauty is in catching it. With the floaty feel of this yo-yo, even at an extremely hard throw, this still comes back at your hand fairly gently, which is weird and surprising, but it works, so 9 out of 10 for comfort. For build quality, this is actually a lot better than some throws. Given that the price is a bit more premium than others, it all makes sense. And given that the quality is good, and since the yo-yo feels a bit compact, the durability ain't so bad. So a solid 9 out of 10 for build quality and durability. For the grinds, this thing is hella smooth, which just adds to the level of comfort this thing delivers. And despite the shape on the rim being a bit different, executing any of your grind tricks are gonna work just fine on this. So an astounding 10 out of 10 for grinds. When it comes to smoothness, I'm definitely giving this thing a 10 out of 10. The bearing spins smoothly, the grinds on this thing are absolutely great, and just overall a smooth experience with this yo-yo. For catchability, it's very simple. The yo-yo has a wide profile but doesn't distract it from looking pleasant and comfortable. If not, the width even adds up to its level of comfort. And even though it feels a bit small, even some riskier tricks are still executable on this yo-yo nonetheless. So a solid 8 out of 10 for catchability. Now for power, it's not the best. Sometimes I struggle with executing my longer and more extreme tricks with this, but even though it's not the most powerful, I still think the power on the boy is just right, to be honest. So even though it's not as powerful as I would want from any of my throws, it still delivers a very good amount of power to complete the feel and the vibe of this throw. For momentum, it's simple really. It's floaty and it executes it very well, so 7 out of 10. Now because this thing is so floaty and feels quite light, speed is actually very easy to do with this. The only thing that makes it not so easy is the shape being more compactish, so it isn't the most aerodynamic throw out there. So a good 8 out of 10 for speed. For stability, it's also pretty normal. Since we have a step at the start of the shape and the cuts are very well placed on the profile, it stays in its own axis for a decent time while executing even some of your techie and complicated tricks. So well done for stability, a good 7 out of 10. It isn't the most extreme yo-yo, so I don't usually think of doing horizontal on this, but it works well enough to execute some horizontal, so a normal 6 out of 10 for horizontal. In conclusion, when you just need a break from all that extreme and intense feels you get from other high-end level throws, but still want to be able to take home the victory in competition, the boy is pretty much one of the best throws for that category so far in my opinion. While I haven't had many throws similar to this definitely puts a standard for throws like this. But I do have to admit, this yo-yo might not be for everyone. If you're looking for an absolute competition level throw, I wouldn't recommend this to you. But for what it can do in a more fun setting, it works wonderfully. Is it worth the price? I'd say that's up to you. If you have the budget big enough to purchase one for your next order, it's a more of a why not. Given that it's a bit pricier than most throws at its level, standing at $90 US, I'd say the quality pays up for it as well as the amount of fun you can genuinely get from just throwing this thing around. It's honestly one hell of a pleasant surprise for me, and I'm pretty sure it can be just that for everyone else. Would I recommend this yo-yo? Sure, why not? While it may not be everyone's top pick, it can definitely be a surprise for everyone that wants to try something new. Especially since they just got a restock on Expert and Rewind, so why not pick one up? So with all that being said, thank you guys for watching the video. I hope this review helps you in deciding any future purchases, and I'd like to thank Lukas again for sending me this throw. It was definitely a solid and pleasant surprise for me. If you guys want to check him out, his Instagram will be down in the description, and be sure to stay put for more uploads in the future by clicking that subscribe button and clicking the bell icon to be notified whenever I post the next video. And lastly, be sure to add hashtag ThrowTrickSub to every future post on your Instagram trick videos to be featured on the next video. Anyways, if you guys have any suggestions or questions, be sure to leave a comment down below, like this video if you enjoyed it, and see you on the next one.